What's up, guys? So basically 2 new cards alongside a brand new archetype from Dawn of Majesty have just been leaked, so let's get right into it. Fusion support, could it be they finally banning instant fusion prayer emoji? I hope not, but I mean it could happen. The first card would be Alve in the final nothingness, so I guess original name, that's the fusion monster, and as you can plainly see, get the joke, it's a vanilla monster so it doesn't have an effect. Fairy Fusion Tuner Dark level 2, 0 attack and 2100 defense, 21, so yeah, shoutouts to Nexter even though it's a fairy and not a machine, so doesn't matter if it's 21. Anyways, 2 normal monsters, that's it, that's all there is to it. So this card has two uses, Jesus! Basically only either as a super poly target or an instant fusion or this card, retort fusion target. Now let's actually read what this card does, and as you can also see from the artwork of the card, it's really similar to instant fusion. So you can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. Pay 1,000, special summon a level 6 or lower non-effect fusion monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon, but it cannot attack, also destroying during the end phase. Where have I read this before? Oh, instant fusion, but it's worse, because it has to summon a non-effect fusion monster, so yeah. Will this card mean that instant fusion is gonna get banned? No, definitely not. Who actually played Instant Fusion seriously in the past 2 years? Literally no one. I mean, I guess since 2019. 2019 was probably like the last time Instant Fusion actually saw legit play. But after that, I mean, Orchest got destroyed, and Orchest was like the best Instant Fusion deck in the game because of Dingirsu, and in case you're still wondering what I mean by that, people were actually making Anaconda with Dingirsu on the field, and then they were sending Instant Fusion to summon Winda, and then during the end phase, Winda would die, but Dingirsu would protect it by detaching material, because it's not like an activated effect, it's not like a Dark Sacrifice, it's not something like that, so it's just a continuous effect, or a lingering condition on the instant fusion, always trying to check the destruction of Winda, but yeah. And also, I don't think that this card will actually see play as an extender, so this definitely isn't the kind of card that you have to keep your eyes on. It's just gonna be another cute, just dead content card, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and this as a super poly target also isn't going to be great. This is basically the best monster of 2021, huh? Again, huge shoutouts to Sea Monster of Theseus, the best card of 2017. But yeah, no, I think this card is just not great, and Retort Fusion is meh. Alright, now let's get into the new archetype, which is Despia. Albaz's bizarre adventure continues. Corrupt religious figures? Who would have guessed? So the first card would be Despian of Comedy, level 1, 0 attack and 2000 defense, Dark Fairy. They're all Dark Fairies, so shoutouts to the Dark Lord monsters. You can only use either their first effect or the second effect once per turn, and only once that turn each. What the frick? That's like Cyber Dragon Core. It's so bad. It's not good. And so the first effect is when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a face-up Despia cards, it doesn't have to just be a monster, it could be a spell or trap as well, so you could actually kind of do pushes through MST Cyclone on your, I don't know, your spell cards going second or first or whatever. No, definitely not first, unless your opponent has like Typhoon or something. Shoutouts to Typhoon Tyranitar. You can chill quick effect, you can discard this card, negate the effect, LMAO. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can tribute 1 fusion, special summon this card. Bruh, this card doesn't do anything on summon. Sure, you're tributing a good monster, so summon back a vanilla. Nice deck, LMAO. Anyways, the second card, Despian of Tragedy, level 1 as well. Ooh, this smells for one shenanigans, but not really. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, or banished, oh wow, oh my god, okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished, and then by a card effect, not like sent to the graveyard and that's it, or banished by a card effect. So yeah, gotta watch out for that, because the last time I actually got cucked by something kind of like this, the wording on Cybernetic Horizon, where I just randomly thought that you could search generic dragons with Horizon, so I was like, oh, this card's broken, you can search Levineer, and they were like, no, it has to be a Cyber. I'm like, oh, all of a sudden, this card sucks. Anyways, you can add 1 Despia monster from your deck to your hand, except Despian of Tragedy, so itself, that's really good, but at the same time, how are you sending this to the graveyard by a card effect? Foolish Burial, I guess Polymerization targets, just fusion fusion summoning, basically using this as a material. And you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one. Yeah, this is a spin-off from the Dragma, Dogmatica. So Stigmatica, spell or trap in your graveyard, set it to your field. That's a cute mechanic. But it's not a quick effect unlike his brother. So I don't know about that. Anyways, the third card, Albert Jester of Despia. Level 4, 1800 attack, and also the same annoying condition. If this card is normal or special, you can add one Stigmatica spell or trap from your deck to your hand. I really like this. This is actually really good, especially if the Stigmatica spell or trap are actually good cards. If a face-up fusion monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, okay, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, special summon this card, and if you do, negate that target's effect until the end of the turn. This is really similar to the effect of Sky Striker Ace Rose. Really similar how you revive back a card and negate the effect of a monster simultaneously. But at the same time, the activation requirement is different. This time, outside, it's not like you have to destroy your opponent's extra monster zone monster. Your own fusion monster has to be, like, destroyed or leaves the field by the opponent's card effect. Leaves the field is actually pretty nice. So it can actually get banished, and yeah, it can get compulsed. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, sure. I definitely like that. I think this is a decent card. Probably the best one out of the three up until now, so yeah. Anyways, Dramaturgia of Despia, level 8, wow, 3000 attack and 1500 defense. Artwork is looking sick. If a fusion, again, Jesus. You can only use this card's name first, and no, sorry, this is actually different this time. You can actually use both of these effects in the same turn, but once per turn each. If a fusion, synchro, exceeds, and or link monster is special summoned, there's definitely a lore between this and Dogmatica. This is so similar to like Maximus. You can target one effect monster on the field, negate its effects until the end of this turn. You can target, yeah, I mean, this has to be an effect on the field, though, that you trigger, so how are you summoning this card? Hopefully the second effect is actually going to be a special summoning condition, mechanic, so if this card is used as a material for fusion summon from the hand or field, and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can special summon it. Yo, let's go. And by the way, notice how they keep saying or banished. So maybe this deck could actually have some nice synergy with Macrocosmos, Dimension Shifter, and Dimensional Fissure. That could be nice. That could be the way this deck actually plays going second, for all we know. Yeah, food for thought. Anyways, the first fusion monster would be Despian Quiartist or whatever. Yeah, it's weird that we only have like, what, 4 monsters? That's not enough. Level 8, 1 Despia monster, 1 light or dark monster. The first thing that comes to my mind is this deck will probably never really be top tier because it has this super poly kind of like strength and weakness built in. So yeah, sure, you can play Super Poly with this deck against your opponent, but at the same time, the reverse logic is also applicable. People can use Super Poly against you. So imagine just ending your turn on like one of this guy, and then one of this guy, and then you just get like Super Poly'd with like your 2 boss monsters. That would be rough. Anyways, during the main phase quick effect, you can change the attack of all face-up monsters currently on the field to 0, except level 8 or higher fusion monsters until the end of the turn. Well, I mean, it's a cute interruption, but it's not like a spot removal or something. It could have been better. If this face-up card you control leaves the field by opponent's card effect, only by a card effect, not by battle, you can add it to your hand or special summon 1 Despia monster or Fallen Up Albaz from your deck. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. So I guess you can special summon this guy, the Albert Jester, during your opponent's turn, and then also get a search on their turn. Or you can summon this, which also has the potential to be like an interruption, which is kind of cool, but that's all the card really does, so I'm not really happy. This card, Despian Proscenium, whatever. 1 Despia, and then this time you need a light and you need a dark. What are the... okay, all the main deck monsters are darks, so how are you getting the light flavor? Oh, that's weird. During the main phase quick effect, you can target 1 Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link monster in your opponent's graveyard, either banish it or special summon it to your field. Yo, let's go. It says during the main phase quick effect, not just during your main phase quick effect or during your opponent's main phase. So you can actually get... yeah, but it's also once per turn. So you can use this effect on your own turn, and then on your opponent's turn, meaning that you can pretty much special summon like a free monster every single turn. That's actually really sick. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to them equal to the destroyed monster's original attack or defense, whichever is higher. Oh, there is a card that has a very similar effect to this. Yeah, it's no, not Shinado, King of a Higher Plane. Something else. I completely forgot. Oh, I think it's the wait, hold on. It's the evil version of Flare Wingman. Yeah, that's the one that actually allows you to choose between whichever is higher, something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's cute, just not good. It's not like a competitive effect. I'm sorry, it's true. But to be fair, this first effect is kind of at least somewhat playable. Alright, this is a field spell, Despia the Stigmatica Theater, and remember that we are in 2021. There is a criteria for every field spell to be good, and that is, does your field spell actually search on activation? Because if it does, it's going to be amazing, because even terraforming is going to be a starter for you, but if it doesn't, it's not going to be great. So you can only use the first and second effect once per turn each. First effect during your main phase, you can fusion summon one level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as a fusion material. This is a worse polymerization, and if a face-up non-fusion fairy monster you control is destroyed by battle, okay, so you can just crash your monster, or leaves on the field by an opponent's card effect, you can target one level 8 or higher fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. I don't know, I'm not a big fan. In non-fusion fairy, there has to be like just token monsters and stuff like that you can use with this. And by the way, the fact that it's a fairy deck makes it so it can randomly kind of be played with Herald of Orange Light. I don't necessarily recommend it, but it's at least something that you can do. And apart from that, there's nothing that really comes to my mind. Ava could no, I think Ava is Light Fairy, right? I don't think it's just level 2 or lower fairies, so I don't think you just randomly search both of these. But correct me if I'm wrong. Don't correct me if I'm right, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Ava would probably not be able to search these cards. Anyways, the final card. Okay, wow. We just got confirmation that this archetype will get more support, because look carefully at what this card says. It says Stigmatica spell or trap. And from the first wave of support, there's not a single trap card. So yes, there will be more Stigmatica spells and traps. Anyways, Curtain Raise. Oh wow, that's Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. Quick play spell. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn each. Discard one card, then add to your hand or special summon in defense one Despia monster from your deck. Whoa, that's like a really good effect. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this effect resolves, except freaking Fusion. Oh my god. Yeah, it's dreadful. Garbage. Yeah, you can't really use it like generically just to get like a free special from your deck. And if a fusion monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Oh, no, no. Oh my god. What? It just doesn't look like this deck can achieve anything that is scary. Because this is just like a card to protect yourself. This just... I mean, it's good. It doesn't suck, but it's not good enough. To be fair, I can already think of a combo where if you have the field spell plus this and then this, you can actually do kind of a lot. So that could be nice, but at the same time, this shouldn't have been a once per turn. And then I just feel like this has a pretty horrible effect. Like, not even gonna lie, like reducing the attack of monsters to 0 is just not enough. Like against trap decks, we can all agree that this is irrelevant, because your monsters are all going to die before they start summoning their monsters. And also, it's only attack of monsters, so if they summon Eldritch in defense, how are you outing Eldritch in defense? You have 25, they have 28. So yeah, no, it's just too much commitment just to out one Eldritch. No thank you. So what do I think of this archetype? Definitely not great at the moment, but some more support. Could someone make it viable out of nowhere? I don't really know. Definitely let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it motivates me so much to keep making videos like these. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.